I'm not sick. I still feel like I'm.
Get up, get down with the sickness?
No, I did that at work a couple days ago. I went, oh, wow. People started coughing, laughing at it.
They start coughing, laughing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised you didn't get any kind of sickness with having the kid here.
I am built different.
You're built different.
I'm built.
I feel like everybody I know around town got this sickness.
I mean,
and it's like not even.
It's the weather, first of all, because it's hot outside. What do? At home, you're blasting your AC. Your car, you're blasting your AC. And you go to work, it's blasting the AC.
But from what I saw, everybody that got sick is because school started.
Well, yeah.
All these people that got sick that I know got sick from their kids.
For the most part, now he's brought in his house to its knees.
Yes.
Once or twice. But lately, no, he's been good.
No, yeah, like
thankfully.
he got sick. A couple people I know that go to the jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, their kids got sick, and then at jiu-jitsu, everybody else got sick. One of my coworkers, she was about as sick as I was.
Speaking of that, really quick side note: Andrew Fauci.
Andrew Fauci.
Anthony Fauci. I'm stuck on it. Anthony Fauci. I think this was from 2012 or so. Somebody dug up an interview he was doing, and he actually said, if you. So you're not vaccinated, but you haven't caught the sickness, right? And there's a epidemic. The best vaccination for you is to catch that sickness and recover from it because it's stronger than any immunization you could ever have.
Which makes sense.
10 years ago.
Somebody made a comment a while back. It's like if the whole purpose in why people cough is to clear stuff up in their throat, but it's also Mother Nature or human mechanics to spread,
to pass it
so that people
can get stronger.
If we weren't supposed to pass sickness amongst one another to build immunity, we would have a built-in system to stop us from coughing and spreading.
Yes, you would get a cold.
Yes. My hand would be permanently attached to my face to stop me from...
naturally start walking in one direction and just die, and the human race would be better.
Yes,
but we spread virus and disease.
It's meant to happen, but
because it helps our genetics. It makes us stronger.
It's still up in the fucking air. Like I've been out this entire week from work, not by choice. I got sick on Friday or Saturday. I didn't start feeling it until Saturday. I was watching the UFC fight with my boys, and I kind of felt a little bit of a cough. It was the cough. The cough is the biggest thing. It was an itch in the back throat and the cough. Sundays when I got hit with the fever and the body aches. I was like, okay, I know my body. I'll run it for 3 days. I'll be good to go. Monday, I went to work and was supposed to do another bike academy this week. And that bike academy was going to be rough because I didn't want to fucking do it. They knew I didn't want to do it last week because I think it's bullshit that they keep having us do it in the middle of the fucking summer.
Which is stupid.
Because they're not the ones doing it. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't want them to think I wasn't coming in out of spite.
Yes.
So I still showed up. Still running a fever, still being sick. And I rode not 5 miles, 10 miles. We rode from the Konami building all the way to the South Outlets, all the way to Warm Springs, and then coming down Warm Springs. And I told you what happened down Warm Springs. From Warm Springs to Eastern, I got hit by a car.
Yeah, he got hit by a car.
I got hit by a car. My leg got pinned, and I almost got dragged underneath the car until I pedaled off. And then my other coworker fucking hit the car.
Oh, yeah. Did you say he Supermaned over?
He hit the car and destroyed his nuts.
It reminds me of that. I think it was like that Blink 182 song. It's like, where do we go from here? I'm feeling it.
So
that's you.
After all that, I put my body through it. I was still functioning. I was like, I needed to be outside anyways to burn this fever off. My bosses did not give a fuck. They could not care about me at the end of the day. They don't care. A lot of bosses don't care about their employees.
No.
But the other female that was working there, she was sounded sicker than me. Love her to death. She definitely helps me out and a lot of other people that we work with, but she was struggling. So she was getting ready to leave. She was getting ready to leave for the day, and she left like an hour, 2 hours early, so they gave her half a point. I was planning on staying all the way through. So my sickness was just, okay, well, I'll still go through the bike academy. I'll be fine by tomorrow. No big deal. Fine. And I told him, I was like, if I can't, I won't come in Tuesday, be good to go, and then finish the bike academy Wednesday to Friday. Somehow, of course, because it's still a fucking thing that COVID is still in existence.
Yeah.
CDC law doesn't. It's a recommendation in the state of Nevada. It isn't an actual law in itself.
No, they can't.
If you work for a private property, their law. Yes, and it's so fucking ridiculous. So it's like I got voluntold when I already knew I didn't have COVID because I still had a bunch of the COVID tests from when I got it last May or in May. I knew it was going to come out negative. Took 2 of the tests, came out negative. I was like, I know what COVID is. I felt it last time.
He's not pregnant.
No. Yay. It was just a fucking cough, and it was the fevers and all that bullshit. But because they kind of like symptoms, they told me to go on leave until I had an actual pharmaceutical one.
Of course.
I'm like, all right, you know what? Whatever. I don't even know what the fuck the point in this story was.
No, it's okay. You go.
Just to sum it up, all the time that I had off I was expecting to go back to work today, and, you know, I ended up not due to unfortunate circumstances because miscommunication on management. So I don't know if I'm out of work. I don't know what's going on, but I wanted to kind of move a little bit more forward with when it comes to being sick or when it comes to your own personal shit, keep your shit to yourself, because people tend to exploit what's happening with you to, I don't know how to explain it. I've never been in a situation where I've been told I don't have a choice in what it is that I'm doing. And it's like, I can normally work my way through and try to finesse that system. But then when I'm told this is what we want because we're afraid of what you are going to do,
yes,
we need to get you out. And I was like, okay, well, voluntold, put on leave, find out I'm not put on leave. I don't call out. I get suspended for not calling out.
Yes.
Long story short.
Welcome to corporate world.
Yeah, exactly. One of the most bullshit things in forever. Like I even pleaded and told him, I was like, look, man, a little bit of a spoiler to it. Bought a new home. Going to be moving in relatively soon. Going to be setting up a studio. Oh, it's not a spoiler. But this puts everything into perspective to realize, again, you can never have one source of income, because I hate that my livelihood is in the hands of two shitty individuals based off of what their mood is.
Yeah.
Not actual logic on why someone's in trouble.
Not based off of your merit.
Exactly. Not my merit. Like, you know, I said, like, I've never been late. I came in with a fever.
Yes.
To prove a point that I was not going to be spiteful and call off of this academy.
Yes.
Did everything I needed to do. Still stayed. And I got punished for it.
Yes.
Be selfish. Do things for yourself in order to benefit yourself. Don't do things to benefit other people, because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck what you're doing.
Well, you take care of yourself as best you can. You know what I mean? You have to sacrifice and you have to make the tough calls. But it's one of those things of, like Lynn said, we all know. We're all adults here. Your job doesn't care about you.
No.
They give you sick days because they have to.
I want people to be aware of what's been going on around town. Obviously, crime has increased. With what knowledge I do know, working, or I would hope to still be working for one of the bigger corporations that run this town.
You'll be fine.
I know, it's me doing too many moves in my head, but
yes.
So the 11th, which was, what's it? Today's 26th. When was the 11th?
That was a Thursday. 2 weeks ago.
So yeah, about 2 weeks ago, there was a high-speed chase here in town. So Metro has a no chase policy. They won't chase in town. Henderson can chase.
I thought that was just the motorcycles.
No, Metro has a zero chase policy.
Oh wow.
Henderson will chase in town. Because Henderson's obviously, it's not in a rural area around a big city. It's on the outskirts. Like, you can do it in between housing areas. Chase in the middle of the town. If I chase someone on Las Vegas Boulevard, people are going to get fucking killed.
For the most part, yeah.
So the helicopter chase. The helicopter chase, they won't vehicle chase.
Got it, yeah.
Does that make sense? So
so the helicopter will track you and the cars will just kind of be behind.
They'll be behind. They'll wait until it gets
like
to
you
another,
stop or
like
until
North
something
Las
happens,
Vegas or a rural area. They're just not
run
going to
up on your ass.
Exactly. So some jackwagon by the name of Justin Venegas from Las Vegas.
Justin Venegas from Las Vegas. Are you a vegan, Mr. Venegas?
What did the guy say from Donut Operator? It's when you take a little... No.
What?
I can't remember when the guy from Donut Operator made a joke. He's like, when you ate a lot of paint thinner as a kid and they ask you what your name is. My name is Justin Venegas from Las Vegas.
I got you, yay!
I got you, yay! So he did a GTA thing, like he robs somebody out of, what was that?
You need to make this sound way worse. You said a GTA. That sounds fun.
Grand Theft Auto in real life.
Yeah.
He robbed, I think it was like an Escalade. It was like a white Escalade.
He stole at gunpoint.
He pulled up next to, he had already stolen
a 7-year-old lady,
76-year-old person, pulled his gun out, jumped through that person's window.
Through the window.
To get them out so he could take their car.
In front of other people.
And while a helicopter was already patrolling over, because they knew that this person had already done the crime. Was driving around town, and this is what's crazy to me. I used to live off of Desert Inn in Decatur, and there's a Smith's in walking distance from my complex. I've been there forever. I lived on that area for about a year, a year or two.
Yeah.
So I'd been over to that Smith's multiple times. I knew exactly where the Smith's was. This guy, while they tried to do a pit maneuver on him to stop him, I don't know exactly where the cross streets were for that.
Yeah.
They attempted to do the pit maneuver, but they couldn't knock it off.
Right.
And because the driver turned around and started firing rounds at Metro, and Metro has the ability, their windows, it can eat rounds.
Which is amazing.
It's cool. It's like a double layered plexiglass window to where you can fire rounds at it and it'll stop the rounds. But then you can shoot through it without any recoil.
Yeah, because that cop went full Resident Evil. He was just like, fuck.
When the FTO was driving with his rookie and they told the rookie, pit maneuver this guy, which, tap him in the tail and get him to spin around, and he missed, and Venegas decided to fire rounds back. That FTO was like, fuck this, pulled out his Glock, started firing rounds
from the passenger seat. Fuck it.
Punched through that window to try and hit the car. Car kept going. He ended up in between this whole back and forth chase, which, like I said, they normally don't do, and ended up at that same Smith's right across the street from where I used to live. And at that Smith's, he got in a firefight there
in the fucking parking lot.
In the parking lot. And there's no cover in that parking lot. All you got is a gas station and the actual store.
Other cars and people. That's your cover.
So this guy got in a firefight in the parking lot, which I can only imagine. If I was going there with the girl and the kid, and I get there, and all I see is this car fucking roll up, Metro roll up right behind it, and they start firing rounds. It's like...
I'm stuffing them under the car. Like the closest car I can find, I'm stuffing my girl and kid under.
Everybody's got to tuck low and do that. And
yeah, like, hit the ground, get under something, and hope for the best.
Right. And let it burn out.
Yeah.
Regardless, they didn't get him right then and there. He got back in his car, fucking took off, and then he popped up over near Blueberry Hill.
Yes.
Right there in Desert in Charleston, where Walmart is.
No, Decatur and Okie.
So yeah, Decatur and Okie, kind of near where
Blueberry Hill was.
In between Blueberry Hill and the indoor swap meet.
Yeah. That's
right
Okie.
In between,
that's
right
Okie.
There on Okie. Mm-hmm. And he went head on into a canine unit. Head on into a canine unit, hard.
Right.
And destroyed the front of that car.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Luckily nothing happened to the canine. He was fine, but they don't wear seatbelts, so the dog got fucking thrashed around in that cage.
Dogs are durable.
But they hit that guy with so many goddamn charges.
Yes.
I don't even think he was local. I mean, I wish I could look into it more. I'd have to ask my roommate to see if she can look into but I
mean, his information is public for what it's worth. Most of your information is public domain.
I don't feel like a local would go to that extent.
Honestly,
because they
it's
don't
not even about that anymore. Because back in the day, yes, we could have said that. Where it's like, oh, that dude's from Vegas. Like how everybody's kind of the latest meme is, Florida man. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, what's the next story we're gonna see about?
Donut operator does the same
thing. We used to be able to do that with Vegas. You'd be like, nobody from Vegas would do shit like that. Now, bro, I don't trust anybody. Everybody is capable of every fucking
So, like
thing.
I said, I'm seeing it more and more, and I just want to put it out to whoever's listening. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Don't walk out in public with your headphones on and not be able to actually hear what's going on around you. Have one headphone in, one headphone out. Like
it's hard to say that.
It's just
like I see where you're coming from.
Preemptively bracing in for a car crash that it's going to come at some point.
Right.
And it's hard to have to flex like that all the time.
It's hard to do that because you got your 9 to 5. You got people riding the bus. You got people just who don't have a car.
Right.
They walk up and down that street every fucking day.
It's hard to not go about your day-to-day and not have your head on a swivel.
Right.
And a lot of people I notice, which it still irritates me to this day, when I used to be an officer, it's like people are unconsciously moving.
Oblivious.
There could be a fight about to happen. I'm ready to put someone in mechanical restraints. Mm-hmm. They're swinging their fists around, getting ready to start trading blows with me. I got 2 other officers next to me, foaming at the mouth, ready to go hands on, and then you'll get a pedestrian just walk right in between us.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's going on here, guys? Yeah. And it's like that awareness not only could hurt me, but hurt the pedestrian and everybody else that's surrounding. And it's like, people just don't know. People don't understand that things are getting a lot worse.
Well, that's why I got out of that line of work. Shit was getting worse when I was doing security.
That was in those types of areas. Now we're having these things happen everywhere. In an area that isn't even... You understand in the casino because there's gambling, there's loose women, there's alcohol, there's drugs. Out in town, there should be safe areas, and now there's not. I
mean, but has it ever really been safe?
Yes. We used to be able to ride our bikes everywhere.
Yes, but how many kids were getting hit? We just didn't hear about it.
More or less because I feel like it wasn't happening as frequently.
We would see crosswalks pop up out of nowhere, streetlights pop up out of nowhere.
Now it's being more... So let's say that it was happening... it was happening, but less frequently than it is now.
Yeah, meaning maybe less frequently, and I'll give you that. People are a little more unhinged.
It's more unhinged, more rampant than when it's where now that there's multiple things being seen.
But see, that falls onto, like me and you talked about when COVID first hit. You can't keep people locked inside of a fucking house for X amount of months, X amount of years.
That's already passed, though. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, but people are still fucked off, bro.
I feel
Any type of trauma, like me and you, we know how to deal with trauma. We can figure it out, mental our way out of it. It's like, okay, I feel it, but I don't have to let it own me.
True.
Most people don't do that. People are just fucked off now, bro. Yeah. Like domestic violence went through the roof.
You know what? And I would notice it too. I feel like I had a very strong mind in between all of this. And I know being in the pandemic, it did. It altered my persona to where I have a lot more bad days than good. I try to really cherish and hold on to the good days, which gives me patience.
Right.
More patience than I've ever had in my life. But then when the bad days are there, it's like, fuck, man. Like, depression's a real thing. Anxiety is a thing that I normally don't get now that I get, and it's more or less because
because we never get a break.
No, there's no break. I even when I was going, just to kind of revert back to I'm not going to touch on it too much, but with the whole shit that's going on with my job, I don't plead for anything.
Right.
I've never done it because I feel like pleading is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness.
It's weak.
It falls upon deaf ears. People use that to take advantage of you.
I don't want your pity.
So me pleading, it's just been like, it just gives them that, oh, well, this is why we're doing this to you anyways. And I told them, I was like, I am never not here unless I'm sick.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I had this many days off, I had fucking COVID.
Right.
The time before that.
Right.
The year before.
Right.
I have so much PTO, I can't even use all of it.
Right.
And it's like you this consistency of needing to grind becomes so exhausting to where that whole old analogy of there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, it doesn't seem realistically like there's a tunnel to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like, you're going to be traveling in the darkness and you might get little pockets of light here and there, but there is no grass green on the other side because the consistency to have to grind to get to that area.
Yes.
Who says you're ever going to get to that area?
It depends where you're going, right? It depends what you're doing.
It's just kind of like that null void of, hey, let's let you think there is something good at the end so you can keep pushing. When now it's like,
yes.
I've been grinding for such a long period of time, and the best opportunity I think I've gotten is, cool, I got my own place.
Right.
I bought it.
Right.
But it's only going to make my life harder, not easier. Because
temporarily,
now
yes.
I have, exactly. It's another temporary step in order for me to have to push even more
right.
past my point.
Right.
It's like Dragon Ball Z, I have to go into a limit breaker.
Like you're at your breaking point.
I'm already past Super. I'm already at Super Saiyan. Now I'm in Kaioken, and I got to go into a limit breaker mode in order to go beyond to make sure that this purchase I just made will better me down the road, because it's not realistically something I even wanted. It's I knew I needed to purchase this home because you can't afford living in an apartment anymore. Without having multiple fucking roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Unrealistically, this is just a flex to be like, all right, I bought my spot. It's mine. I don't need to fight with people if something does or doesn't happen. Right. I can change things the way I want to change it, but it ain't going to be easy because now my rent's double what it was.
It's a sacrifice.
Just to sum all that up. But I'm done.
Equivalent exchange.
Law of equivalent exchange. Just really
something like that.